This courtroom drama explodes into chaos as a judge comes face to face with a self-proclaimed sovereign citizen, Amanda Marin Jewell, who insists the system has no authority over her. What was supposed to be a straightforward sentencing hearing quickly turns into a heated confrontation when the judge realizes she has been absent for years. And not just once, repeatedly failing to appear, ignoring court dates, and claiming she had somehow already served her sentence. From the very beginning, you can hear the frustration in the judge's voice. He methodically lays out the timeline, the original illegal entry charge, the bond that was posted, the release from jail, and the clear instruction to return for sentencing. Instead of complying, she disappeared. No calls to her attorney. No updated address. No explanation. Just silence. And now, standing in front of the court again, she claims she never received notice and suggests the fault lies somewhere else. As the exchange intensifies, she offers excuse after excuse, saying the address on file wasn't valid, alleging threats from the complainant, and speaking with the kind of confidence that often defines sovereign citizen arguments. But the judge isn't buying it. He calmly, but firmly, reminds her that strenuous statements don't make them true. Court records don't vanish because someone refuses to acknowledge them. The tension builds as the judge delivers his decision. She will remain in custody until the next hearing. He makes it clear that her attitude isn't helping and warns that the remaining 93 days of her sentence could still be imposed. After being absent for 2.5 years, accountability has finally caught up. This video is a powerful reminder that courtroom theatrics don't override documented facts, and that ignoring the legal system doesn't make it disappear.
Her attorney,
I'm here today.
What's that?
I'm kind of curious why I'm here today. I was pretty sure I served my sentence out.
You never showed up for the sentence.
I was pretty sure I was released to, and I'd served my entire sentence for the entire in 2022.
That might have been in front of Judge Stutzman, but in this case,
it was
file 212545.
You were the judge in the case.
All right. Well, in this case, you're charged with illegal entry.
Here, correct?
Yes. And the matter was set for sentencing.
I thought I'd already served my sentence.
On August 31st.
I thought that's when I got out. 2022. I was here for like 60 days.
Let's go through the history of this. Ms. Casey Strong is here with us from the public defender staff, and I asked her to come in. All right, let's go back. On December 21st, you allegedly illegally entered
so in 2022, I was picked up and served the rest of the
Just wait. I'm going through this.
Okay.
And you got arrested and posted a bond in January of 2022.
Yep.
Attorney Timothy George was appointed to represent you, but he had a conflict, and the attorney then became Rhonda Ives. On July 13th of 2022, you got arrested for failing to appear, and you pled not guilty again. So I set the matter for an attorney pretrial for August 5th of 2022. You pled guilty to the charge on August 5th. So you trespassed on the house that Jamison Norman owned and allegedly trashed the place. You were in jail for 25 days. I gave you a PR bond and set the matter for sentencing for September 12th, which you promptly never appeared again whatsoever. So your bluster this morning is wasted. You were in jail for 25 days. You entered a plea. I let you out of jail, and you never showed up for the sentence. You never got sentenced.
I never got any notice to appear.
I told you in the courtroom. I may have even given you something. I told you the matter was set for sentencing on September 12th of 2022. I asked for victim input and a police report. Miss Normant was watching this house for her grandmother and contended that you or others trashed the place. So I set the matter for sentencing. I let you out of jail, and you paid me back by never showing up again.
I don't remember ever getting a notice to appear after.
I told you in the courtroom what the day was to be here.
I physically did not have a sheet that said I needed to return to the court.
Well, we sent it, which is the address that you gave me in the courtroom.
Well,
that was mailed to that address on August 31st.
No longer, I cannot receive mail there. The house has been condemned.
So on that day, your lawyer tried to call you several times, had no contact with you since you got out of jail, and the complainant was present and ready to give information about your case.
Well, the complainant was in the parking lot when I left the jail that day and threatened my life.
All right.
Norma is her name?
No. Her name is James.
The woman that was watching the residence was in the parking lot that day when I left and threatened my life.
Okay. So anyway, you never called your lawyer. Your lawyer was unable to reach you, and you never showed up. So how did you get arrested last night?
I didn't get arrested last night. I was arrested on Sunday.
Where is that? So Sunday would have been February 10th, Super Bowl Sunday. How did you come to get arrested?
On my property.
Did they arrest you for something else, or did they just find there was this warrant?
They arrested me for something else. This popped up when I was going to be let out.
All right. What was the charge in Kalamazoo?
A false charge of controlled substance, dangerous drugs, and I'm supposedly on the FBI.
All right. So is that, and then they were gonna bond you out. They found this warrant in St. Joe County.
Yep. This. And I need to get out of here as fast as possible because I'm trying to get my taxes paid on my house so I can start renovations.
Okay. All right, very good. I'll set this matter for sentence, and hopefully we can get Miss Ives here. The first day I have is February 21st.
And I have court in Kalamazoo on the 21st. Do I have to stay in jail till this matter goes to court? I would think that since it's a misdemeanor, I wouldn't have to stay in jail.
You're mistaken. I'm not very happy with you. You blew off your sentencing date. You never called your lawyer. The complainant came twice. You're trying to bluster me to tell me that you already got sentenced and did a bunch of jail time. I did you a favor by letting you out of jail, and you promptly responded by...
I thought I did. My mistake.
Okay.
I just want to get the matter resolved, and I don't want to miss being able to get my property taken care of before March, and I don't want to miss my other court dates in Kalamazoo.
Fair enough.
trying to keep a better schedule. Only can do that if, we can work together. Because this is only a misdemeanor. Not that that makes it any less important.
There we go. Your lawyer is set to be here next Tuesday.
Have to be here till Tuesday?
Yes.
Really?
We also need to give notice to the complaining witness.
So I can't get because now I have a way to get here. Before I didn't have a way to get here.
Yes.
I don't understand why I couldn't be released. If I do have a way to get here, I know I have a way to get here. Before I did not.
Well, you do now, because you have no bond. I'm going to deal with you on Tuesday, and I'm going to decide at that time whether to let you out on Tuesday or give you the balance of 93 days in jail. So you might want to work on your attitude a little bit. I'll have your lawyer, Rhonda Ives, here at that time. We'll have the complainant here. I'm going out of my way to set this as soon as I can on a date that your attorney is already scheduled to be here. Just because you're strenuous in your statement doesn't mean it's correct. The bottom line is, I let you out of jail. You blew me off. You never showed up. You never called your lawyer. Your lawyer couldn't call you. I told you the date in the courtroom. I mailed the notice to the address that you gave me. You've been AWOL for 2.5 years. So we'll deal with this on Tuesday. No, this is it. I'll see you Tuesday at 9 o'clock.
Today's courtroom breakdown takes us inside a tense and unforgettable hearing involving a woman who identifies herself as Amanda Maran Jewell, a self-proclaimed sovereign citizen who believed she could outmaneuver the legal system simply by rejecting its authority. What unfolds is not just a routine sentencing issue, but a dramatic collision between personal belief and judicial reality, and the consequences that follow when someone ignores the court for years. The hearing begins with an unmistakable tone of frustration from the judge. Before Amanda can even fully settle into the moment, the court addresses the central issue: she failed to appear for sentencing. Not recently. Not by a few weeks. She had been absent for 2.5 years. That kind of delay doesn't happen by accident. It requires conscious decisions, missed communications, and a complete disregard for court obligations. The judge makes it clear that this is not a misunderstanding, it's a pattern. He starts walking through the timeline carefully, almost methodically, as if laying bricks in a wall of facts that cannot be argued away. There was an original illegal entry charge. She was taken into custody. Bond was posted. She was released. And then came the sentencing date, a date she was expected to attend. The court trusted her enough to grant a personal recognizance bond, meaning she was allowed to remain free based on her promise to return. That trust was broken. As the judge recounts the history, he emphasizes that she never contacted her attorney. She never reached out to the court. She never filed paperwork explaining a change of address. She simply vanished from the process. For the legal system, failure to appear is not a minor inconvenience. It disrupts schedules, wastes public resources, and signals disrespect for judicial authority. When Amanda finally speaks, she does so with confidence. She claims she never received notice of her sentencing. According to her, the address on file was outdated. She suggests that she cannot be held responsible for not appearing because she was unaware of the requirement. She also introduces another claim, that the complainant had threatened her life, implying that fear played a role in her absence. But the judge does not respond emotionally. He responds with records. Notices were sent. The court file reflects the information provided at the time of release. It was her responsibility to ensure her contact details were accurate. The court cannot chase down defendants who fail to update their own information. The responsibility rests with the individual, not the system. As the exchange continues, the underlying sovereign citizen mindset becomes more visible. Amanda speaks in a way that suggests she believes legal obligations are optional if she does not consent to them. She references ideas about having served her sentence out, despite never completing the sentencing phase. This kind of argument reflects a misunderstanding of how legal authority works. A sentence does not dissolve because someone chooses to ignore it. Time does not automatically erase a court order. The judge firmly explains that strong statements do not create legal truth. The court operates on documented facts, signed orders, and procedural rules. Whether someone believes in the system or not does not determine whether the system applies to them. Jurisdiction is not based on personal agreement. It is established by law. There is a moment in the hearing where the frustration becomes especially clear. The judge stresses that appearing in court is not optional. When someone is released on bond, particularly a PR bond, it is an act of trust. The court gives a person the opportunity to remain free while awaiting further proceedings. Failing to appear is a direct violation of that trust. Amanda continues attempting to justify her absence, circling back to notice issues and external threats. But each explanation runs into the same wall. She had legal representation. She had a responsibility to maintain communication. She had an obligation to verify her court dates. The judge makes it clear that disappearing for 2.5 years cannot be reframed as a clerical error. What makes the hearing especially intense is the clash in perspectives. On one side, the judge represents institutional continuity, records, schedules, procedure, accountability. On the other side, Amanda represents personal narrative, belief, perception, and reinterpretation of events. But in a courtroom, narrative alone is not enough. Documentation prevails. The judge revisits the core issue again. She was given opportunities. She was not immediately sentenced to maximum penalties. She was trusted to comply. Instead, she became what he describes as essentially absent without leave for years. That absence forced the court to issue warrants and delayed final resolution of the case. As the hearing progresses, the judge begins outlining what happens next. This is no longer about debating the past. It is about consequences. He informs her that she will remain in custody until the next hearing. At that point, the court will determine whether she should be released again or required to serve the remaining 93 days of her sentence. That number, 93 days, hangs in the air. It represents unfinished accountability. It is not a hypothetical threat, it is a measurable consequence tied directly to prior rulings. The judge makes it clear that her conduct during this period will matter. Attitude matters. Respect matters. Cooperation matters. He also delivers a pointed observation. Making strenuous statements does not make them correct. This line captures the heart of the conflict. The courtroom is not a place where conviction replaces evidence. It is a place where claims must align with records. Throughout the exchange, there is a broader lesson unfolding about sovereign citizen ideology. Many who adopt these beliefs argue that courts lack authority over them unless they explicitly consent. They may reject traditional identification, challenge jurisdiction, or reinterpret legal terminology. But time and again, cases like this demonstrate that courts do not operate on personal belief systems. They operate on statutory authority and procedural law. The judge's decision to keep her in custody is not presented as punishment for her beliefs. It is framed as a response to behavior, specifically, failing to appear and failing to communicate. The message is simple: accountability delayed is not accountability erased. As the hearing nears its end, the energy in the room shifts from argument to inevitability. The debate over notice and threats does not undo the timeline. The years that passed without appearance cannot be reclaimed. The court schedules the next date, and the matter moves forward. What makes this hearing compelling is not just the tension, but the clarity. It demonstrates how the legal system responds when someone attempts to disengage from it entirely. Ignoring the process does not invalidate it. Rejecting authority does not dissolve it. And disappearing for years does not cancel a sentence. Amanda now faces a crossroads. At the next hearing, the judge will evaluate whether she has adjusted her approach, whether she is willing to comply, and whether release is appropriate. Or the remaining 93 days will be imposed. The outcome depends not on rhetoric, but on conduct. In the end, this courtroom moment stands as a powerful example of how belief systems collide with institutional structure. One operates on personal conviction. The other operates on documented law. When those two forces meet, the outcome is rarely ambiguous. The court adjourns with a clear message: responsibility cannot be postponed indefinitely. Whether someone acknowledges the authority of the court or not, the authority remains. And sooner or later, every unresolved case returns to the docket.